wanted to share with you a before and after. I've completed a website redesign for Alison. She's a client of mine. She's a metabolic precision transformation specialist. So she's not just your regular run-of-the-mill personal trainer. And the problem with being an expert is quite often, unless you've got a really well-designed website, you often do get placed in that personal trainer bucket. So in Alison's case, she's got a lot more skills than your regular run-of-the-mill personal trainer, regular run-of-the-mill gym. But a lot of people also only look for those services when they're trying to fix their health. So there's this perfect marriage that you need to create where your website ranks really well for personal training gym, if that's what you deliver in the health and fitness space, but then it showcases the expertise and the personality. So this is the before website. And something I should mention here as well is Alison's input into this this transformation over the last 2 to 4 weeks has really been minimal. She's been super busy running her business, and it's something that she hasn't been able to get around to herself. So expecting her to have a lot of input in this redesign was never going to be realistic. So I've taken public information, things that she's published herself. I've looked at histories in Facebook groups, etc., and then I've been able to basically take all of that and create this first iteration. So this is the before. I'll just highlight so that you'll see the transformation. This is a typical website with a menu at the top. Okay, lots of different choices. It reads a little bit like a catalog. So when someone first lands, they've got options to kind of move around a fair bit. And the problem with this is it doesn't take people down any single direct path. And if your call to actions aren't really on point, then multiple pages are just going to dilute your message. So what we've done is we've fixed that. Something else that I should also mention is location-wise, your websites really should have embedded maps these days. So as you can see, like this is definitely a picture of an expert that is busy on the floor in the gym, doesn't have the time or the resources to go out and learn all this stuff herself. She's placed the trust in me, and here we go. This is what we've got. So the first thing you see when you first land on this page, and it is mobile optimized. So if we really make that skinny, you can see that it beautifully resizes. There's a lot of different types of people. So if I'm wondering, do people like me train here? There's a high chance that I'm going to see someone here that looks a little bit like me if I'm a prospect looking for a gym or a personal trainer. Very confidently, Ballarat's leading strength and fitness gym, evidence-based training for real people at every stage of life. And this serves the purpose of ranking higher when people search up gym near me or gym Ballarat, best gym Ballarat. As we scroll through, again, we've got some very pointed copy, highlighting the location, different types of people. And then we have a pathway you can choose. So if you're a man or if you're a woman, you can click either of these. Now, for the scrollers out there, they'll learn more about how to get started. They'll learn a little bit of the why behind the how. And as we scroll, the case for why this is different becomes even more apparent. It's not just a generic gym. It's somewhere you go to get expert advice. So we've answered the question of, do people like me train here? We've answered the question of, do people like me have fun training here? Okay, and we're also going to answer, do people like me get results here? very easily with strong looking men and women in the pictures. Okay, we've got the trainer competing in high rocks. And as I said, this is iteration 1. But what happens when we click through the path? So before we do move on, I'll just highlight that at any point, if any of these call to action buttons are clicked, it comes back to the main call to action. Are you a man or are you a woman? Because we want to collect that data from people that are inquiring so we can really personalize the messaging. Okay, so join the priority list makes you stand out as being exclusive, and down the bottom we've got a beautifully embedded Google map. Contacts is easy to find as well. And then we've also got legal and blog. Blog serves a SEO purpose down here. So I won't go into too much detail in that, with that in today's video. But I just wanted to show you the full landing page. And we're going to add to this as we have more time together. I can collect results, reviews, and really add to the character of this page. So once you click through to either I'm a woman or I'm a man, you'll land on a page that looks like this. We've got congruency between the pages, and this is really important, that you don't feel like you're on another website when you click to the next page. You've come from the same spot, okay, and you're exactly where you should be. Now remember, this person is clicking through to join the priority list, but what they'll also get is a 30-day email sequence. So name, email, very low barrier to entry, makes it a very small hurdle for them to just say, hey, I'll give you some personal information. And then this beautiful PS, I'll just call it a PS because that's what it is. If a calendar appears on the next page, it means a rare spot has opened up for a one-on-one strength assessment. Be quick to book in as they usually go within hours. So it creates a sense of urgency. Once they've submitted that, a couple things will happen. They'll get their day 0 email. They'll also see this page before they even open that email. You've unlocked 30 days of real science-backed strategies. So you're presenting that you are an expert and you're going to nurture them over the next 30 days. It's a bit like saying to someone waiting in the hotel foyer for their room, would you like some cold water with lemon and a bite to eat? It's being a concierge and creating that high premium experience so their mind starts to align with what they might pay for something like this versus a cheap generic gym. And hey presto, the calendar has popped up below, and we can see that there are some time slots. When we hook this up, these time slots will be a little more limited than what we've got here. And this creates, again, scarcity, jumping on one of those appointments. And this really just is as simple as putting your details in, or your clients putting the details in, and it being placed straight in your calendar. Here we've got a mobile capture. So we've got the first name, last name, email, and a mobile. So a little bit more data that we're asking for. Okay. And if they scroll past the calendar, we've got more information on what exactly happens during a strength assessment and why they should book it. So say they've now scheduled that meeting. We go to this page here where they're asked to verify their details. So a little auto population piece will come up here with the email, the mobile that they've entered, which is a really cool trick that I use to pre-populate information. They'll get a message from the gym phone number, which they have to reply yes to, and I'll show you how that all works in a second. But this has really now become what I call a smart website. So it's not just a website that sits there on Squarespace, but it's a website that is smart on the back end. We've collected details, and we're going to start to really organize leads and the stages that they're at in the buying journey. One of the things that I should probably also show you is the difference between the male and the female. The messaging is more personalized. It really speaks to a man over here, and it really speaks to a woman over here as well. And that's really important, especially in today's age. where people are bombarded with advertising, and they've tried gyms before. They've probably tried services like yours before. They want a higher level experience. Most people do anyway. So this is the back end of that website. And the first thing that I want to show you is opportunities. So everyone that comes through that website will start to feed through once it's live into one of these pipelines. So if they sign up for the 30-day email series, but they don't book a strength assessment, they'll be placed into this pipeline here. And the cool thing about this pipeline is we can see who's opened and interacted with the most emails. And instead of having 1,000 people who've signed up, we will have 500 who have only opened 25% of the emails, 200 that have opened 50% of the emails, maybe 100 who have opened 75%, and then 20 who have opened 100%. They're going to be our hottest leads. So if we ever find ourselves lacking leads, we come to this list here, and then we work backwards. As simple as that. If they book a strength assessment, they'll be placed into this simple pipeline. Have they booked in? Have they confirmed? Yes, great. If they've confirmed, have they sold to a membership, or is it a no sale? So we're clearly labeling and pushing our prospects through a chain so we don't miss anyone. If you've ever had an inquiry and you've missed them for 3 weeks, you've gone cold and you've kicked yourself, having something like this in your back end is super important. And then once they do become members, well, what happens next? We ask for a review request. We filter them into negative response, positive response, and then we see if they've actually given us a review on Google if they are a positive response. So all of your automations live here. And there's just a handful of automations that are really important. We do want to track our lead sources. So if we're running Facebook ads, or we're just doing organic and we're just relying on SEO, we want to make sure we know where it's coming from. So that's what this folder is here for. I won't go into those automations because they're a bit boring. I'll jump straight into the lead nurture first. So with the lead nurture, we've got our female 30-day email series and our male 30-day email series. And respectful to the demographic, as we've personalized the landing page, we've personalized these emails. There's 30 of them, and they each hit at 6 a.m. every single day. So imagine the amount of trust you will build and the speed at which you'll build that trust when you say to someone, hey, I'm going to deliver you a piece of information that will help you towards your goals every day at 6 a.m. Just check your inbox and make sure you're checking that inbox. You're going to build trust very, very quickly because you are reliable and you're a source of good information. So you can't see the actual emails here. You can see a little bit of a preview. We go through all the different topics, the reasons why people want to strength train, some helpful habits, habit breaking stuff. We've got things that are important like sleep, nutrition, etc. And it's really tailored towards a transformational journey. So if someone just does these, reads all of these emails and implements the actions, they will get some results, which is really a really important marketing framework is give value before asking for a sale in return. We've got progress check emails. So on top of delivering reliable information at 6 a.m. every day, if they don't open the emails, instead of just spamming them, we send them an email just saying, hey, I noticed you didn't open day 7. To move to the next part of this course, open day 7, and you will automatically start receiving the next 7 emails. That's accountability. You're giving people an experience before they even turn into a customer. So this is a really cool workflow. I love it. The other thing I want to show you as well is the strength assessment workflow. So if you've ever booked a strength assessment, or not even a strength assessment, just a sales consultation in your studio or wherever it might be, if you've had to take someone online and bring them into your bricks and mortar premises, then you'll know that you get a lot of people who don't turn up. This nurture sequence here fixes that completely. And how it fixes that is, if you remember back to the landing pages that I showed you earlier, we ask them to confirm their details, okay? Send them a Find Us email with a Google Map link, a confirmation SMS, and that confirmation SMS is really simple. It's as simple as, hey, is this Bob? It's Alison from FitQuest 360. Just confirming your strength assessment. Reply yes so that we know that we have the right details. Your booking isn't confirmed until we hear back. You'll be surprised at the reply rate. It's 100%. Everyone replies back because it's so conversational. And once they reply back, it's thank you. Whilst I have you, is there anything we should be aware of prior to your strength assessment in order to tailor it to you as best we can, including goals, injuries, medical conditions? Can you see the difference between, hey, what are your goals, as compared to this, which is so we can make your time valuable, because everyone's personal time is valuable. So we can make the most use of your time, we need to know things up front so we can get straight to it. So you can really create some rich conversations off the back of that, which will improve your show up rates. If people don't reply yes, they get a reminder at 15 minutes. You still want to have that frame of you are in hot demand. So at the 45-minute mark, if you haven't heard back from them, knowing that they're pretty close to their mobile, then you just cancel it. This here will automatically cancel the strength assessment. So this stops people from booking into your calendar and wasting a time slot so you can get someone fresh in. If they don't reply back within an hour, then your strength assessment spot has been released. If you'd like to book in, just reply book and we'll send you some more available times. So it creates a scarcity mind frame again for the person inquiring, so that they respect your time, right? So that's the strength assessment automation. And then the last automation that I'll show you is your Google review automation. And this is a really good one to have, not only to get you Google reviews, which helps with AI searchability. So if people start sort of searching for information about your services in your local area, if an AI LLM sees that you're highly rated and reviewed, they will present you before anyone else. Not only for that though, SEO helps a lot. It just helps with people who are doing their research on you. So they see you on Instagram and they want to check out your reviews. They'll go there and they'll trust you more if you've got more 5-star reviews. This completely systemizes that process, and as I alluded to, also solves the problem of getting negative feedback. You don't want 1, 2, or 3-star reviews. So the last thing you want to send is a Google review link straight away. Instead, what we send is an SMS that says we're collecting client feedback. If you could rate your experience with us so far from 1 to 5, what would you give us, right? And then from there, if the client replies 1, 2, or 3, they get a how can we improve text message. If they reply 4, 5, they get the link, okay? We have some other parts to this sequence that makes it really optimized, but that's essentially it. So in the matter of, look, it was 4 weeks. Alison's gone without having to do anything from this, okay, to this, and it's given us a framework to build on. So we can put, as we collect more photos, as we collect more reviews, more transformations, we can start to really enrich this site and build it up into something that's really powerful in showcasing her expertise, her gym, and gives her the framework then to start to scale. If she ever needs to employ trainers that need to take strength assessments for her in this whole system, it's very easy to duplicate calendars and start that whole process as well. So if you're looking for a transformation like this on your website, you want to put your best foot forward and present your expertise in a way that nobody else around you is presenting themselves, then hit me up. We can have a chat. I can give you a little audit show you how much traffic you're getting, and look at how much of that traffic is converting. It's very likely that you are leaving money on the table when it comes to having people visit your website and knowing what to do. Because if you've got a website like this, then there's too many options. People get confused and they bounce off. They go back to the Google listings and they choose someone else. All right, and we don't want that. We want people who land on your site to start to go through the flow, whether that is to A, just get a little bit of value from you, or B, come in, see what it's all about, or C, turn into a member and then eventually a raving fan. So that is all for this lesson, this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.